Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I wanted to do a reaction to Catherine Mcbroom's announcement that she's coming out with a skincare line. We're going to watch this video together and I will share my thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so if you're not familiar with how I feel about the Ace family, I don't care for them. I'm just going to put that out there right now. The Ace family is no different than any other family vlog channel on this platform. They just so happen to be extremely wealthy. They are, I think that they're the biggest family vlog channel on this platform. They have like something like 17 million subscribers or something like that. 19 million, excuse me. And they have built their empire by exploiting their children. So I am not a fan. I don't care for Austin or Catherine. I think that Austin is much more cringeworthy than Catherine is, in my personal opinion. But I also don't think that she is completely innocent in the reputation that they have online. I will share some of my thoughts throughout this video on how I feel about influencers coming out with skincare lines, makeup lines. I have more of a problem with the skincare portion of this because I think that makeup can be fun, you know, it's just colors, like there's no rules in makeup, all of that kind of stuff. But I do have a problem with people who are getting medical procedures done at dermatologists and plastic surgeons' office, creating and promoting their own skincare lines. I have a pretty big problem with that. So I will sprinkle my thoughts throughout this video, but we're going to listen to what she has to say and I'm going to react to this video with you guys. So let's get started. And by the way, this came on my radar not because I subscribe to the Ace family, but because Sloan here on YouTube, he actually, you know, did a video on this. I did not watch his video because as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to make my own reaction. If you guys don't follow Sloan, go check out his channel. He's amazing. But that's how this came on my radar. It's not because I subscribe to Ace family. I would never.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So I've been thinking about filming this video for the past 9 months. I've been rehearsing this in my head over and over and over again, just trying to put the pieces together and the words together, really trying to figure out what would be important and what wouldn't be important to share with you guys. And I feel like at this point I'm just going to talk to you as if you're hanging out in my living room and you're my girlfriend or you're a guy friend of mine and we're just here talking. I know you guys can't actually talk back to me, but I'm just going to pretend that you can, and I'm going to just sit here and just be as real and raw as I can be with you guys, because I feel like this is what I'm meant for.
So she's sitting with us like we're her friends in her living room, and she's going to be real and raw. So does that mean that you're not real and raw usually? Because that's kind of what I took from that. You're going to be real and raw in this video, but most of the other videos that you put out, you're putting on a persona and you're not being as genuine as what you are in this video. So I already can feel the marketing being thrown at me by her trying to pitch this as if we're friends, we're hanging out. She says, I'm going to talk to you guys. You guys can't talk back to me, but I'm going to talk to you like you're here anyway. I know that Ace family has a ton of subscribers, but it's not that you can't talk to your subscribers. Y'all are just too busy to. So the only time that you talk to them is if there's a giveaway or something surrounding you communicating with your subscribers. If they really wanted to talk to their subscribers, they could, but they don't.
Like at times I just think about things so much where I just don't do anything at all and I don't say anything at all, and I really just am over that. Thank you for tuning in today. Just the fact that I have your time right now means everything to me. You don't even know what you're getting yourself into, but just enjoy the ride. If you are driving to work, if you're breastfeeding right now, if you're on your way to school, just put me on Bluetooth, put me on speakerphone or whatever you want. It's gonna be kind of a lengthy video. And the reason why is because I feel like everything that I'm going to say has its purpose and is very relevant to what I want to explain to you guys. And then it's going to lead into why I started my line, and then I'm going to talk to you guys more about the launch. And I've struggled with whether I should say this or not, but I just have to say that I'm not here to sell you on anything whatsoever. This is not like a business move.
This is not a business move, really? Are you kidding me? You're launching a skincare line in the middle of a pandemic a month before Christmas, and this isn't a business move? The Ace family is so big that everything that they do is a business move. From their videos that they film, to the things that they put out, to when they put them out, to the pictures that they post, to the TikToks that they make, everything for them is a business move. So let's keep listening, but my bullshit-o-meter is already going off.
Or anything like that. This is just me being really real with you guys. I know you guys can feel energy. You guys can feel when someone's being real with you. You guys can tell through the screen because that's what humans do. We can just really tell when someone's being very honest, and I feel like you guys will be able to tell because I'm being just that. So
she says that people can tell if you're being honest through the screen. There are literally so many people that don't trust anything that the Ace family says or does. So I guess that's valid, but you're also sort of letting everyone know that even though the mass majority of people don't trust us, maybe there's a reason why they don't.
So when my mom was 15, mind you, this is very relevant, her mom passed away when she was 15 from ovarian cancer, and my mom didn't have family.
Okay, so her grandma passed away when her mom was 15 from ovarian cancer. She's already targeting anyone who has lost any family or friend to cancer, and more specifically, ovarian cancer. I will tell you guys right now, my grandmother passed away from ovarian cancer. So me being in the seat that I am in, when she said that, I immediately had this emotion of association memory, and now I'm listening to her talk, but I'm thinking of my grandmother who passed from ovarian cancer. So maybe she's just telling all of these details because that's what she wanted to do, but I am looking at this as she said that so that people like me would continue listening and associate what she's about to tell me with my personal life experience with losing my grandmother to cancer. Or someone might have been listening to this who lost their aunt to ovarian cancer, their daughter, whoever it is. She's definitely already pulling on heartstrings, so let's keep going.
Didn't have a father in her life. She didn't have anybody, and she lost her best friend. This is as if Elle or Alea lost me, and it was a really traumatic time in her life. And she ended up moving to Montreal, Canada, and didn't have a single soul. She was from women's shelter to women's shelter. She was skin hygiene, self-care was the last thing on her mind. Like, she was in survival mode. She wasn't thinking about, what she looked like at all. She was just surviving. She was devastated from my grandmother's death, who passed away from ovarian cancer. When she found out she had the cancer, she only had a couple months to live and then passed away. And so the only person my mom had at the time was my dad, who was her boyfriend, and met her in Montreal and then started their lives there together. When my mom was 18, she gave birth to me, and a lot of things happened in life, and she ended up leaving a couple years after I was born. My brother was, I want to say he was 1 or 2 years old, and my dad raised us. And so the reason why I say this is because I feel like everything in life is a domino effect. If you have a mother or father or whoever takes care of you does things a certain way, you're more likely to kind of follow their lead and learn from them. And so
it's funny, she says how if you have someone in your life that does a certain way, you follow their lead. So what what are these parents, these family vloggers, what are they showing their kids? I think that she said that not thinking that people would look at it the way I am. What are you showing your children by consistently having cameras shoved in their face and everyone's happy and smiling when the cameras are on, and then you know, every little intimate moment is filmed and recorded and everyone has to be on? I don't think she realizes the way that that message is going to be perceived by someone like me who is not you know, one of their fans who's just like following them blindly. The other thing that I'll say is, isn't the Ace family, like, their demographic is kids? So maybe she is thinking that the teenagers and, you know, females in their young or in their early 20s are the ones that are going to be buying these products. But I don't know. I think that most of their subscribers are very young kids, so I don't even know if a skincare line is going to make sense, but we'll keep listening.
Because I didn't have my mother, and because at that point my dad was raising me, hygiene and those things I would kind of learn from my dad here and there. My dad was working 3 jobs, he was super busy, and so I kind of just like learned things on my own. And then later on in my preteen years, I moved with my mom in Florida. And that's when my acne just got insane. My hormones were crazy. The temperature, the climate was so different because I went from Canada to Florida, and you guys know Florida is so humid. So my skin changed dramatically. And
I've never seen Catherine with acne. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I've seen some photos of her when she's young, but I have never seen her struggle with acne. I've literally only ever seen her with very, very like flawless skin. So I don't know, but I also realize for me, when my acne was at its worst, I was also the type of person to not want to take photos of myself and not want to be in pictures, like photo ops and stuff, because my self-esteem was super low because of my acne. So that could be the situation with her. I don't know. But any time that I've ever seen pictures of her, her skin has always been very nice, and I've not seen acne on it. So I don't know.
it was also, you know, I started my period for the first time. I was kind of starting to like have all these hormonal changes, and I was so insecure about my skin. Like, when I tell you how insecure I was about it, like sometimes I just want to cry, because I just think about the times when I would literally wear makeup every single day just to hide my acne, or like just the texture of my skin was so dull. I would ask my mom, you know, can you help me with my skin? And so at the time, you know, social media wasn't popular back then. I think that Facebook had just launched. This was like back when I was 15 years old. You know, you couldn't really like search things on the internet. Like, there wasn't, you know, social media influencers. There wasn't people talking about their skin and makeup and all that kind of stuff. So
okay, but you don't need social media to get skincare advice. We're not talking about 100 years ago. She's talking about this as if there were just no answers anywhere until social media influencers came along and like Facebook popped off. Like, first of all, I don't go to influencers for skincare advice. I go to people who are qualified to give skincare advice, whether it's an esthetician or a dermatologist, or even like a skincare specialist, like someone that works at, you know, Blue Mercury or, you know, Nordstrom, someone who has some training in, you know, skincare and like how skin works. So I don't think that social media has anything to do with information being limited on what to do with your skin.
you kind of just like bought whatever was on the radio or whatever was on commercials and stuff. I would try all these products.
You bought whatever was on the radio. She is literally talking like this was in the 1930s. We're talking about maybe 15 years ago, 2005. We didn't just buy things that were on the radio. What is she talking about?
And nothing worked, like absolutely nothing worked. It was so bad. I'd cleanse and wash my face.
She said that she would try all these products, nothing would work, everything was so bad. I understand the struggle firsthand, but I have to say, when I felt like my acne was bad, that's when I went to someone who was qualified to give me the proper advice and equip me with the proper tools to help my acne get under control. I started to see an esthetician, and I realized that money has a lot to do with it, but you can go to an esthetician one time and have them help you with a skincare routine. I know that some estheticians will only, I remember back in 2007, 2008, I was going to get facials at Elizabeth Arden Red Door Spa. And the first time that I went, the esthetician was only recommending products that they sold at Red Door. And I told her, I was like, look, I really don't have the money. Like, I really like you as a person, but I came here for a facial. Like, I can't afford the facial and to go home with like 5 skincare products. So she, being a good esthetician, gave me the facial, but then she also wrote down a couple of products for me to buy at the drugstore because she realized that I couldn't, buy all of this stuff. And I think that any decent esthetician is going to do that, even if they're told, sell the products that we offer here in store so that when the client is checking out, you're sending them home with products. Like, I understand how sales works, but she also realized that I was in a position where I needed some help. So she said, here are some products that you should buy at the drugstore. Let me give you the facial and then go buy these products. I realized that not everyone walking in here can just drop like $400 on a facial and a bunch of these expensive products.
A million times a day because I thought that was gonna make my skin better. My skin never cleared up. I actually wore the worst makeup possible.
I think overwashing is something very, very normal that people with acne go through, especially if you feel like you have no answers. You feel like you should be making you feel like you should be making sure that your skin is clean during the day. So I don't think that that is that abnormal. Unfortunately, overwashing is just something that a lot of people do to try to remedy their acne, which is obviously not what you want to do. You're in fact compromising your moisture barrier and therefore possibly creating not only irritation, but also creating more oil and possibly bringing on more acne as well.
Instead of wearing foundation, I would wear concealer as a foundation and to really hide all the blemishes. I was just making my skin worse and worse and worse. And so
I don't really know if I buy that she was using a concealer as a foundation. She might have been, but there are plenty of fuller coverage foundations. I almost feel like she inserted this in here just to make it sound like she was in desperation of having this acne covered that was allegedly so bad.
When I turned 19, I moved to China for a year. My dad was living out there teaching. And I really started to pay attention to people's skin, and I just loved in China, the most beautiful skin that I've ever seen. These Chinese women would take care of their skin. I realized I can really have good skin if I take care of it. Let me start kind of like diving into this. Let me start taking care of myself. And so that's when I kind of really started my self-care routine in China. And so I came back to the States a year after that, decided to move to Miami. So I moved to Miami. Long story short, I learned how to drive, bought my mom's car, and all I had was a job opportunity, it was a job interview, and I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. I ended up getting it. Fast forward a little bit, when I was 22, I was living at an apartment and I couldn't live there anymore. And it was very sporadic. It was like, I wasn't very unexpected, and so I started applying for other apartments in the area, and I was kind of freaking out. My whole life was like a disaster. I felt like everything was tumbling down on me. I didn't know what to do. I felt like, okay, well, I can go move back to Tampa where my mom was living, drive 5 hours right now, and then lose all my jobs and start all over, or I can stay at a hotel tonight and then hopefully, you know, someone calls me back and lets me know that I can move into a new apartment and get accepted. I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was in my car and I had all my stuff in my car. I had everything that I owned in my car. Luckily I even had a car. And I'm driving and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, at the end of the day, I have me. I got me. I'm good. Whatever happens, I'm good, right? Like, I can always move back with my mom. That's the last thing I want to do right now. She was going through her own things. I didn't want to intervene. I didn't want to be there. And I really just wanted to move forward. And so I'm driving and I'm on like Lincoln Road and I'm driving in Miami and there's a Starbucks on the corner.
Part of me thinks that she's telling this story about her struggle and, you know, how she sort of came up from the bottom and all of that. I think the same way that she made sure that she told people about the ovarian cancer thing, I think that she's using this, you know, sort of rags to riches story to pull on the heartstrings of people who are struggling or have struggled. This is designed to be a very personal video. She's giving all of this very, very personal, intimate information that is pulling on different people's heartstrings right before she hits us with these are the products that I'm going to be selling you guys. I haven't seen the whole video yet, but I can tell that she is really building on people's emotions right before the bombshell comes, which is, these are the amazing products that I'm going to have.
And the wheelchair looks at me and he goes, do you believe in fate? And I looked over at him and I'm like, yeah, I think so. I believe in fate. And he just starts talking to me about, you know, different things. He goes, can you stand up, please? And I stood up and he goes, oh. He goes, I knew it. You have wings on your back. He's like, your grandmother is with you. She's always with you. She's on your back right now. She's always on your back. And so that was the first experience that I've ever really heard from my grandmother, and I thought that that was so interesting to me because I had been thinking about my grandmother almost every day.
So she goes to this whole story about how she went to the Starbucks on Lincoln Road and a guy in a wheelchair comes and says that her grandmother, you know, she has like wings on her back, her grandmother is there. Like, I definitely believe in like, for me, that I am protected by my grandmother. That is something that I am fully invested in. I have believed that since the day that she left this earth, that she is with me and she is protecting me. And so again, tying this into people's personal experiences and their emotions, I feel more connected to Catherine because of this story that she has told, because I can say I'm in the same boat. I feel the same way. So, you know, she's trying to draw these different connections. I can see exactly what she's doing here. And am I saying it's the worst thing ever? No, absolutely not. I think that this is a different way to market to people than your typical, hey guys, I have new merch, this is what it's going to be, this is the date. I think because people are sort of, in a way, people are kind of at their wits' end with these family vloggers, especially the Ace family. They've had so many different controversies. I think that if she just came on here and said, hey guys, I have this amazing skincare line. I've been working on it for 2 years. These are the products. I'm really excited. I don't think that that would have gone over as well as her coming here and sharing these really intimate details of her life and, you know, sharing her struggles and talking about her family and all of these very spiritual moments that she has had. This is different than what most product announcements are on YouTube, and it might work for a lot of people. I'm not going to buy anything because I don't support the Ace family, even if they had a product that I was really interested in. And I also don't trust skincare products that are pushed by influencers or created by influencers or private labeled. Like, I don't think that Catherine literally made up these products. I think that she has come up with this brand, and she is going with a skincare company, and she's doing the private label gig. I don't think that this was literally something that she built from the ground up. I could be wrong, just my personal opinion, but let's keep going.
That was my first time ever walking into a dermatologist's office. Towards the end of the whole meet, I asked the dermatologist and I said, can you please tell me why my skin looks like this? Why is it that I feel like my skin is good, but it just looks really dull? This is the first time where I don't have acne or anything, but I just feel like my skin just doesn't look good. And so he looks at me and he goes, well, are you wearing moisturizer? And I said, no, isn't that supposed to make your skin more oily? And he starts laughing. And then he goes, are you wearing toner? And I go, no, isn't that supposed to make your skin dry? He starts laughing. And then he goes, are you wearing oil at night? Are you wearing vitamin C? Are you doing masks? Are you doing anything like that? And I said, no. What I do is I cleanse my face many times during the day to dry it out so that I won't get the acne. And I wash my face with really hot water because in my mind, I thought that by washing your face with hot water, that would kill the germs. Totally wrong. And I also told him that I would pick my face every single night to get rid of all my pores and all my acne. And
so she goes to the dermatologist and, you know, has this great experience and learns all this new stuff. I have to say, as far as the branding goes with this whole moon thing, I think it's cool, but do I think that it's been a little overdone? I do. I think that the solar system and zodiac signs and stars and all of that stuff, I do think that that has been a little bit overdone. I don't really find it to be super original. That's just my personal opinion. She names her chemist, and even though she names her chemist and says that you guys are going to meet her chemist, she's such a great person, she might be a great person, but that still does not mean that Catherine had a big hand in creating these products. In my personal opinion, I still think that she went the private label route. I think that she probably came up with the name and, you know, the graphics and the vibe, but just my personal opinion, don't come for me. I do believe that she still went the private label route, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about what private labeling is at the end of this video. So first product, she's coming out with 5 products. So the first one is going to be a cleanser and an eye cream and a moisturizer. So this is all pretty basic so far. And then a lip balm and a body oil. So nothing super groundbreaking. I think that it's interesting that she, I feel like instead of coming out with a body oil, like I would have probably rather seen an exfoliator just to tie together the actual skincare line and then come out with a body product. So she used the body oil her whole pregnancy with the last child. Of course, she's going to say that. Do I think that her body oil is going to be that different from other body oils that you can buy at CVS, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, Sephora, Ulta, Blue Mercury, any of these other retailers? I don't think so, because there's only so many different types of oils that you can put into a body oil to make it a good product. So, I mean, I don't see what hers could be offering that any of these other ones don't, whether you want something more affordable or more high-end. If I was going to suggest a body oil, I would suggest I'll throw up a screen grab, the Dr. Teal's body oil I've been using for years. It's like $5 and you can buy it at Walmart. It's amazing. Foaming face cleanser. Don't know the ingredients. Obviously, we don't know anything about that. But if I was going to suggest a foaming facial cleanser, just thinking of it off the top of my head, it would easily be the CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser. I have used that off and on for years, depending on what my current skincare needs are. But it's nice, it rinses clean, minimal ingredients, affordable, and you can buy it anywhere. She gets excited about talking about this because they know this is going to be a massive payday for them, because a lot of people really like Catherine. There are a ton of people who can't stand Austin, but they really like Catherine, and that's just the way it is. So for her to be coming out with her own product that's not technically an Ace family launch, this is huge. People are going to really like it because they feel like they're supporting Catherine without supporting Austin, even though they live in the same house, they're married, and any money she makes obviously goes to both of them. So let's go back to when Tati Westbrook said that she was coming out with her Halo vitamins and how it was all her. She created everything. She did the research and development, and she knew all the ingredients, and she worked with the scientists. And then we found out that that was not really true. I don't know if Catherine is being completely honest here. Time will tell, maybe. I don't know if she is really in tune with these products that she's coming out with. I just don't know. The Ace family has been shown to be very money hungry, and they are also business savvy because they have been able to build an empire based around people watching their kids. So I don't know. I'm still going with the fact that this is probably private labeled. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. Again, just my opinion. But I won't be buying this brand. And I'm very confused as to who she's marketing to. She has to be marketing to girls that are in their late teens to early 20s, because I don't see anyone over the age of 25 wanting to buy something from the Ace family. I just don't. And on top of it, most people that are over the age of like 24, 25 are going to be more in tune with listening to someone like Skincare by Hiram, James Welsh on YouTube, Dr. Dre, seeing their own doctor, seeing their own esthetician. So I don't really know if anyone would necessarily care about something that Catherine's coming out with. Not to mention, a lot of people know that the Ace family are very shady. So there's many people that just don't want to support them, period. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I really couldn't care less. For me, this seems like a huge money grab. Surprise, surprise. It's coming out a month, or it was announced a month before Christmas. It's coming out 2 weeks before Christmas. And I personally think that this is just a really different way to announce merchandise. Technically, it's merchandise. I think that this is their way of avoiding the hurdle of saying, hey, we just have some new stuff to sell you guys. Here it is, and here's the date. This is a way to try to grab people's attention in a different way. And I don't like being sold to by someone pulling on my heartstrings. I don't appreciate that. And it actually kind of pisses me off. And that's the vibe that I get from this video. So that's just my personal opinion. If y'all need a body oil, like I said, go with the Dr. Teal's. If you need a facial cleanser, get the CeraVe foaming facial cleanser. If you need an eye cream, get the one from CeraVe. If you need a lip balm, get the ones from Treat Beauty. They're absolutely amazing. And if you need a moisturizer, try a face oil. Try the Trilogy Rosehip Seed Oil. Those are just my opinions. So yeah, I wanted to kind of go through a few parts of this video with you guys. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to sell really well because they have 19 million subscribers. But again, you have to keep in mind that these are people who have built a huge empire by exploiting their children. And even if Catherine is actually a really nice person, and even though I think that she's not as innocent as people think she is, it still boils down to the fact that they are millionaires because they recorded intimate moments of their children's lives and broadcast it to the world. and I don't support people like that. So real quick, I wanted to read a definition of what is private label skincare, because I know that it can be sort of confusing. The concept of private label skincare involves selling high quality products to customers in a way that is cost effective for your business and true to your vision. And keep in mind, if they're selling to girls or guys that are in their late teens to early 20s, Catherine can't come out with a skincare line that has an $80 moisturizer. That's just not going to fly. So that would be in line with offering something that is more affordable. Then it says it allows you to forego working with suppliers of name brand products in favor of creating your own customized skincare products, thereby increasing trust with your customers and building your business's reputation as a trustworthy vendor. To be effective, retailers such as yourself must work with a trusted product manufacturer who will provide you with good products, a quick turnaround, and fair pricing. So essentially the way that it works is you go through you find a private label company, and then you would go through a consultation that basically goes over what your goals are. You would do a product evaluation, packaging selection, labeling design. You know, that part is yours because you're telling them, this is what I want the label to look like. This is what I want. I want this one to come in a box. This one shouldn't come in a box, so on and so forth. And then, you would go on from there. So private labeling is not something that is like an industry secret. But what really makes me upset is when people, especially influencers, come out and try to say, I put all this hard work and, this is the backstory and it's so heartwarming and all of this kind of stuff. But then they actually just private labeled it and they have never stepped foot in a lab but once for a photo op. You know what I mean? So anyway, those are kind of my thoughts. I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.